celebration yesterday, Nicky?
Yeah, look, I think it was. It clearly is not good enough though, and we don't certainly. I know the guys have taken it on the chin. They've taken it very, very badly, which is good because every time we play, we play to win, and we certainly don't expect performances like that from the quality of players that we've got at our disposal. So I'm sure they'll bounce back tomorrow though.
Been quite a lot of criticism about their ability to play the swinging ball. Is that criticism warranted?
Yeah, look, I think it's something we're going to have to look at. Every time the ball has swung or done something, we found ourselves in a little bit of trouble, and I guess that comes with a new young batting group. But clearly we've got to be better than that because the ball is going to swing and spin in India and in England. So we've got to make sure that we get that right and get that right quickly.
It was the first game back for quite a few guys. Do you think that might have played a part? Will they settle in for the rest of the series and rest of the summer?
Yeah, of course they will. Of course they will. And it was only three guys that came back. Both Mitchells had been part of the squad before the start of the one-day series. So they'll settle in very quickly. They're quality players. They've been in positions like this before, and I'm confident that they'll deliver for us come tomorrow.
Are you worried that it might affect the confidence of a lot of the guys, particularly the Moses and Regs and the ones that have just kind of come into the side?
Yeah, look at a performance like that. It does. We're looking for one guy tomorrow to stand up and lead us, though, and that's got to come from one of our experienced players. It's got to come from a guy at the top of the order, and that's either with bat or ball. Because those nerves just don't just go away. It needs somebody to stand up, try and wrestle momentum away, and put in a massive performance that other guys can then just feed off. So again, we've got the players, we've got the caliber of players to do that, and I'm pretty sure one of them will take on that challenge.
When you were watching the game at home in South Africa, were you regretting the decision to leave Mike Hussey out? He could have been fairly useful there. He's got those skills in the middle order. Yeah, look,
of course, Mike Hussey's got all the skills. Mike Hussey's still one of our best one-day players. He's still an unbelievable cricketer, and yes, you miss those skills. I think we've got to understand though that Mike Hussey has retired. Mike Hussey has retired from international cricket, albeit that he was still available for these one-dayers. We looked at it and thought that it was an opportunity to get another 10 one-dayers into somebody else, and with where we want to take the team and with what we want to do in the next year, with a Champions Trophy just around the corner, and then. People say that the 2015 World Cup's a long way away. The reality is it gets onto you very, very quickly. We've only got 14 ODIs, I think, next year, so that leaves us with 14 ODIs plus a triangular series before the World Cup. We need to find out about some other players. We need to see if any of those players have got what it takes to take Mike's massive mantle. And we've got to give the guys that are still going to be within our setup in the next year or two the opportunity to do that.
Have you been satisfied with the middle order players today? There's been a couple of, I suppose it's fair to say, failures from the middle order in the first three games.
Oh, there has. I was really happy with our performance in Melbourne. I thought in Melbourne the batting order was fantastic, and I thought the batters were very good. Yes, Adelaide was poor, and last night was obviously poor. So there has to be a question mark around that. But you know what? In the engine room sets up one-day games for you. The engine rooms 1, 2, 3, and 4. If 1, 2, and 3 and 4 generally go well, all you need is for somebody at the back end to come and finish. And we believe we've got those players. We've got George Bailey. He was at 5 last night. Wadey, Moses at 7. We've got players that have the ability to do that. What they need is a platform, and that platform's got to come from 1, 2, 3, and 4. If 1, 2, 3, and 4 play well, generally we get enough runs and get a very challenging score.
And you mentioned the 6 more one-days to go. Is there going to be an opportunity to potentially test more guys out in the middle? Shaun Marsh is going quite well. Luke Ponce, those kind of guys. Are they a chance to play in the remaining 6 one-day games?
Oh, look, of course, everybody's a chance to play. We feel that we've selected right now the best squad, the squad that's playing at the moment. We feel is the best available squad that we could possibly have chosen. The first 2 games, obviously, we decided to rest rest up Wadey and Warner. Mike was still battling with his hamstring, so he had to come back from that. And we just wanted to rightly or wrongly, we just wanted to refresh Dave and Maddie, because they'd been on the road for a long period of time. That was potentially the only couple of days off that they were going to have, leading into what is a very demanding 18 months. So we chose it at that time to let them off. And after Melbourne, we thought it was a really good decision. Obviously, after Adelaide, it sort of evened itself out a bit. But we expected them, when they come back, to create impact. Your top players, you want creating impact every time they come back into the Australian cricket team. So we'll hopefully they'll do that tomorrow for us.
You've had a fair bit to do with Shaun Marsh over the years at Western Australia, and also for his his test debut and that sort of thing. Have you kept a close eye on how he's progressed this summer? He's been in very good form in the Big Bash.
Yeah, of course I have. I always watch Shaun, principally because I coached him at Western Australia first, and I've been a massive believer in Shaun. But Shaun's got to keep knocking the door down like he's doing at the moment, and if he continues to do that, I'm pretty sure there'll be another opportunity for him around the corner. But he's got to do that consistently, like every other player that comes into our team has had to perform consistently to get a gig, and that's I guess the type of culture that you want to create. Players come in and on the top of their games, and hopefully can replicate that form from domestic level at international level.
And Jackson Bird comes in for tomorrow's squad. Is he likely to get a game, and what do you expect from him? He had such a big impact in his first 2 tests.
Yeah, look, Jackson in his first 2 tests were outstanding, and did exactly the role that we wanted him to. He came in. He's given us he's a different sort of bowler to guys that we had. He had a good length. He's quite tall. He's quick enough. So he really put himself in the frame, and that was one of the massive benefits that came out of Mitchell Stark not playing at Boxing Day, was the fact that Jackson Bird stood up and bowled really well and put himself right in the frame for us. So that's good. What we've always done through the summer, though, is have a fast bowler on standby. We've seen with the attrition rate of our bowlers that you always have to have a fast bowler on standby. That's why we had Ben Cutting on standby last night. He came back from the BBL semi-final. He rejoined the squad, which I think was necessary. So he came back into the squad. If we were not 100% sure of Ben Cutting playing tomorrow, it would have been criminal of us not to release him back to the heat for the BBL final tonight. So we've done that, and Jackson Bird comes in and fills that reserve fast bowling stakes. He comes in to see if anything happens before the toss of the coin, we've got another guy there ready to go, instead of having to mix and match. So that's why Jackson Bird comes in. We select another squad though for the 5th ODI in Hobart. We'll be doing that today. So another squad will come out. I can't see it changing that much, but another squad will come out. So all we needed was Jackson just to be on standby for tomorrow.
So you're saying it's pretty unlikely that he will play tomorrow then?
At this stage, pretty unlikely. I'm just waiting for all the injury reports, and I've only just arrived from Perth, so I'm waiting for all the injury reports and just to get some feedback from the other coaches and from the physio, and then we'll have a look. But I think it's just common sense that we have somebody on standby.
A loss like that last night, a lot of people are against questioning that rotation policy. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, look, my thoughts haven't changed in a week. I just want to get away from this rotation policy word, because, quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of it now. It's all we do is we manage our players. We manage them. It would be nonsensical of us to put a player in a position to play when he was carrying an injury that potentially could put him out for the next 2 or 3 months. And that's all we've done. That's literally all we've done. I can list them on one hand the times that players have been rotated. This is the first time that we've had some batsmen out. You know, Clark and Watson are injured. They in our first choice starting lineup. They needed to get over their injuries. Clark, he's done that. He's come back for the third one. It's only been Wade and Warner from a batting point of view, and then a couple of bowlers. We've been very careful on how we've managed their workloads. It's as simple as that, really.
But it makes consistency very difficult to achieve. Is that fair to say?
That is the one drawback. It does make consistency, and it makes communication to those players equally important. I think every player's being communicated well. In an ideal world, and in my previous jobs, I've been very strong on it. You want structure and you want stability, because structure and stability give you success. You know, but with the amount of cricket we play, we can have structure and stability with a squad of 16 players instead of a team of 11, and I think that's the way we've got to go. And it literally is as simple as that. You know, people have questioned, do we know who the best team is, whatever. Of course we do. Of course we do. And as I said last week, Michael and I sit and make decisions with the selector on duty based on information we've given. A huge amount of times we've said, no, we're not going to take that up. We're going to play the bowler. We want the bowler to play. We want him to push through. We've done that plenty of times, but unfortunately that will never get reported because nobody knows that. You know, and the other times that we've rested players have been with the players' interest at heart and with the team's interest at heart. So I think, again, with the cricket we play, it's a case of, instead of saying stability comes from 11 players, we've got to get ourselves to where stability is coming from a squad of 16. And then once we've got that squad of 16, it's very easy for players to know exactly how they fit in, what their roles are, and where they stand in the pecking order. And that's something that I'm very big on, is players knowing exactly where they stand. Because if the players don't know where they stand, that creates a lot of confusion. I believe every player in the Australian cricket team now knows exactly where he stands because they've been told that.